Greetings, everyone. DFG here with Gideon's Flight. Hey, guys, I just want to take a minute here to share with you some insight on success, or even more importantly, what constitutes success, but even more importantly, what success is not. And my inspiration for this message is due to just having some conversations with some very dear friends of mine recently. And we were talking about success and, and how, when it comes down to our children, how that, how we measure their success, or more importantly, what we teach them in terms of how to measure their own success. And far too often, what I discovered in these conversations is that, we are creating these bubbles, creating this foundation of truth, I'll say it that way, or foundation of facts, not necessarily truth. But we're creating a fact that tells these children, we tell the children that for you to be successful, you have to do better than me. You have to do better than your parents. And when you think about that, in all honesty, and be patient before you delete or stop this video. Please hear me out. It's so unfair when we tell them that in order to be successful, they have to do better than us, because it creates this illusion of success around materialism. It really does. And in other words, what we're saying subliminal to them, intentionally or unintentionally, is that we're going to measure their success, and they should be measuring their success by what they accumulate in this lifetime. In essence, how many, houses, how much money they have, clothes that they have, where they travel, where they work, what their occupation is, who they marry. All of these things that are subject to time and elements. Houses, cars, money, those things are things that are treasures and not success. Because true success, and I want to say this clearly. First, I don't want to go too far. If we're gonna have this conversation, if you're gonna have these conversations with your children, your grandchildren about success, the moment you start using yourself as a measuring stick, you've just created a potential competitor, in the best sense, and in the worst sense, you have created an enemy. Because now what you're doing is projecting your life on their life and telling them, unless they can not only duplicate your success, but surpass your success, then they're not really a success. And guys, I'm sorry, I'm not asking you to agree with me, but I'm telling you that is incorrect information. Because their success should never be measured around materialism. I mean, now, if you're talking in terms of them saying, well, look, I want you to see things that I haven't had a chance to see. I want you to be exposed to things I've never been exposed to. That's one thing. But if you're basing it upon accomplishments, material things, then you could be the very reason why your children or child could be struggling around, depression, anxiety, a sense of lack of self-worth. You could be responsible for them substituting the utopia feeling that comes from being able to be the best that they can be, and using drugs to supplement that. All of these things you're opening the doors to when you create that environment. And so, in all honesty, our children are not our competitors. You follow me? Because there are so many things that could happen in your life, in my life, and it's true, that can change the trajectory. If I told one of my sons, look, you got to surpass me, you got to do better than me. Well, I can think about, I haven't written a list of all these things down, but I bet you thousands of things that they would have to unexpectedly have happen to them and make the right decisions. And in some instance, the wind just kind of will have to blow in the right direction for them to be able to proceed further. Because all those things happened to me. There were so many unpredictables, and so many invariables that it would be impossible for them to duplicate what I've done and surpass it. No, the answer to that is to allow them to be the best that they can be. True success is finding what you love and then investing in what you love with all your mind, your body, and your strength. And if you can do that, it does not matter what you accumulate as it relates to things or treasure. As a matter of fact, let me read something to you. And this is going to apply more to those who are spiritually minded. So if you're not spiritually minded, just take it as some wisdom. But this is Matthew 6 and chapter 6, verse 20, from 19 to 21. This is what it says. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon the earth, where moth and rust do corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay yourselves treasures in heaven, where the moth nor the rust corrupt, and where the thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Now look, this describes materialism. So if you're using materialism as the gauge for your children's success, then what you're doing is setting them up for failure. Okay, let me give you even another example. I mean, that's the scripture here. But let me give you another example. I can have the biggest house in the neighborhood. And on my tombstone, when I die, how interesting it will be where, this is Dale Green, who was born July 18th. Today, happy birthday to me. And he had a big house on Naperville Street. Yeah, sounds pretty ridiculous, right? But in essence, that's what we're doing when we set up our children, with this mindset that their success depends on them being better than. I don't want my son to feel like he has to be better than me, either of my sons, in terms of what they accumulate. What I do want them to do is be the best that they can be. And if that happens to be a lot better man than I am, then I could not be more happy about that. If they could give more of themselves than I was able to give, I could not be more than happy about that. But the most important thing is I want them to be happy. And whatever makes them happy, to me, they are a success. And treasures and success are not the same things. Success is self-fulfillment. And now some will say maybe self-fulfillment is getting things, and more things I have, the more self-fulfilled. The thief's going to get it. You got $1 a day. If you want something, you're going to give that person who you want that dollar value to get what it is you want. So that dollar you have is not even your dollar, because in order to get something for that dollar, you got to give $1 away. And that's what you're going to put your children's future. That's what you're going to base the foundation. You're going to build your children's future around that type of foundation? No, you shouldn't be building your own foundation around that. Nice things, material things, those things are indicators of success, but under no circumstances are those things success, and nor should we be teaching others. I suspect that a lot of the challenges that we're having, in the country is because of our misperception of around what is success. At the end of the day, parents, work hard, give your best, do your best. And when I say work towards your passion, not some job. All right? Do your passion, do what you love. And then whatever you accumulate in this lifetime, that's the inheritance that you pass down to them. And now, when they're able to have those things along with the things that they're working as they pursue their own dreams, not competing with you, not using you as a measurement for success, now they're going to be more successful, because now they have what they have and they have what you have. But you did it collectively, you did it in love, you did it in the unity of the family, and you didn't have to compromise yourself by making your children out to be these competitive, dogmatic monsters who see you as somehow or another the standard of which they need to surpass. Can't be anything good in that. Okay? So that's my message for you. Again, if it sounds preachy, guys, take it in the spirit of love. I mean, somebody has to say something. All right? And maybe you knew this already, but if you didn't, then let me inside your circle of counsel and share this information with you. I mean you no harm. I mean you all respect. I just don't want to lose, a generation to materialism, and at the same time have them despising us or feeling bad about themselves because they're not us. No, be your best self. Let them be their best self, and let's all be good with that. Okay? Guys, if you like the video, subscribe. Thank you. Leave your comments. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Again, Squanto signing off. Goodbye now.